Hi guys, welcome back to our natural garden. In spring there is always something in bloom and honestly I don't know what to film first. All the shrubs and trees are covered in white blossoms and of course other colorful flowers are showing up every day. I always walk through the garden and end up with way too much footage. Even though we haven't had much rain lately, everything still looks so fresh, and this is partially thanks to the lush grass that is growing all over the place. If we didn't mow it, we'd be in over our heads in no time, literally.
This time of year grass is growing like crazy, so I have started mowing, but it goes slowly because the grass is very juicy in the spring, so you have to go slow, not to overload the mower. And it grows back so quickly as well. So I can see, I was mowing like a few days ago and the grass is already halfway back. And I only did like half of the garden or maybe even less. So
yeah. Here, funny. Guys, you can see this part is not mowed and it's not easy to keep everything under control.
And I have to wait, I can't start in the morning because the grass is wet. So I have to wait until the afternoon for it to dry off, because otherwise it wouldn't be possible.
Yeah.
And it's also interesting that as soon as I finish mowing, the flowers immediately start flowering again, so it doesn't hurt them, but it actually helps them because they are not suffocated by the tall grass.
Yeah. They are so fast, they don't waste any time.
And we see there are more flowers, wildflowers, in the grass every year, especially these purple ones. You can see them everywhere, and they didn't used to be here before. So I like that. The grass, the lawn gets richer every year.
Yeah.
Which is what we wanted.
Exactly. This is a nice example of how fast the grass is growing in spring. And there is a lot of maintenance. These are our currants, red currants, black currants and white currants. And yes, we need to mow here or we will mulch, and this is just one of, I don't know, hundreds of spots that we need to take care of, so it's a lot of work. Tommy is mowing our main grass area, and I was trying to mow here around these shrubs because they were almost fully covered with grass. Luckily, a lot of them are quite tall already, so the need to mow here is getting less and less, it's getting better. It's still like it has to be done from time to time, but less than in the past. And now, when the grass is so fresh in spring, it's so difficult because it's so juicy. And the lawnmower, like the grass, gets stuck there, and I need to clean it regularly, like every few shrubs. And yeah, it takes quite a lot of time. You might be wondering why I'm using the electric lawnmower and not a weed whacker. We have a weed whacker, but that one is, on petrol, and it's quite heavy to carry around, so I don't really like using it. I fight here. It's quite it's not fun, it's a fight, it's a battle. The main thing is that it's done here. I will now just pull the grass around the shrubs with my hands to clean up everything, but the main part is done. But this is just a small part of the hedge, of course, so I have to like do it everywhere in the garden. Tommy has been bringing a lot of grass here, and I'm going to use this as mulch, and I will be mulching here around the cherry laurels. And yeah, they are getting lost in the grass too, so this has to be done. I didn't mow the grass here because this way, when I throw a lot of this mowed grass here, it's harder for this grass to grow, to come back. So yeah. This grass is so heavy, it's really full of water, it's so fresh. And that's good because we need heavy grass to destroy this grass here. It's quite fun to be killing grass with grass, but as you can see, we need a lot of material. And yeah, it's so interesting. The grass will start decomposing now, and it will get warmer there underneath. It can be even quite hot when you put your hand there. It could even burn you. So it should kill off the old grass that is growing here, which is nice, and for some time it won't come back. But in the end it always comes back, of course. So this is only a temporary solution, sadly, but at least for some time we won't have to take care of this part.
The tulip season is also in full swing. This is the main area for daffodils and tulips. The daffodils are slowly finishing for this year, even though some late varieties are still coming up. But now most of the tulips are in bloom, and you can see we have different colors, different varieties. So it's a really nice colorful mix, I think.
It's so diverse here.
And it's the second season in this location. And we can see there are more flowers compared to last year, which is exciting, which means they like it here.
Mm-hmm. We have a lot of various leafy greens right now in our garden, which is amazing. It's a great source of nutrients. Here is a big spinach. This was planted last year and it usually survives the winter here, and it has a head start in spring. That's why it's so big, because newly planted spinach is still small, the one Tommy planted in spring. There is also this kale. This one is also from last year, and as you can see, it's bolting, which means flowers are developing, and that means that the plant is coming to an end. So I can pick this heavily and yeah, again, very nice leaves, and it's a joy to see here. I'm also picking a bit of arugula. There are plants here and there in the garden. More is here. Tommy covered it with the foil greenhouse, and they are also from last year, so that's cool. I really like it that you can plant some veggies in autumn and then in spring they are so big already, because otherwise spring is quite poor veggie wise and everything is just starting. You plant the seeds and of course it takes time to grow. So this way we have more already now. And these plants weren't even planted intentionally. They release seeds on their own and they spread here, so sometimes they grow, sometimes they don't. So of course we started them intentionally some time ago, but since then this happens. That's why this is here on this random spot. And sometimes it's quite funny and a nice surprise. What I've been also picking are the tips of conifer trees. Here we have a fir tree, for example, and they are also nice. I will pick just a few for my lunch because otherwise the taste, like, it is nice but in small amounts, so otherwise it would be too overwhelming, but it's a nice bonus. And you can pick them only when they are very fresh and young, when they are still small, because then they are soft. Otherwise, of course, they would get harder and it would be impossible to eat them. So only now in spring when they are starting. And here we still have a bit of wild garlic. It's flowering already. That means that the season is coming to an end, but I can still pick a few leaves. And you can even eat the flowers. So I will take a few of them as well. Okay, I have quite a nice amount, yay! And now I'm going to chop everything up and I will cook some of these things and you'll see. I am now basically sautéing, if that's the word, the spinach and kale leaves here, but instead of oil I'm using just water. So it's more gentle to the leaves, and yeah, that's what I'm doing here on this pan, just for a few minutes. When all the water is gone, I'm going to add 1 egg. We got the eggs from our neighbors, from the hens that have the best life here, so these eggs are awesome. And I'm gonna just do like scrambled eggs or a scrambled egg here with the greens. It goes fast and you can of course add more eggs if you'd like. It would be more delicious, but I don't want to eat that much for lunch. And of course I'm adding a bit of salt. Everything is here in this plate and now I'm going to add plain white yogurt. A bit more salt, and here I have pumpkin seed oil. We got this as a present from my parents, so I'm going to use a bit. Not much, but the taste of this is amazing. And we will just mix everything and the lunch will be done. Oh, I forgot to mention, I also added a bit of microgreens, radish sprouts. Here we have them, leftovers, so that's also yummy. So the spinach and kale leaves are sautéed and all the other stuff is raw. And I'm going to enjoy my lunch here in the sun, in our yard. It's so warm and everything looks beautiful now. And I love it. Everything is so fresh. And I've been having this lunch. This is my 4th time already. 4 days in a row, because it's so good. And I have to use all the greens now from the garden.
I feel like I spend several hours every day planting or transplanting something. which is what gardening is about in the spring, right? So right now I'm doing peppers. I brought them here from these little planters, and I'm transplanting them in bigger planters to give them more space to grow, and also to plant them a little bit deeper, because when I start them indoors they always tend to lag, or whatever it's called, grow high up. So I'm correcting it now because it will still take a few weeks at least before they go into the garden beds. I started a lot of different flowers indoors because, you know, there are a lot of kinds that you can't start outdoors because it freezes until May. And some veggies, tomatoes, stuff like that. The usual stuff as we do every year, but I also try some new kinds every year. And I'm curious what we'll have because it's never for sure. I feel like a beginner. I make some mistakes every year, so we'll see what we'll have. Good thing I mowed these paths through the grass so we can get easily to the little pond we have here. This yellow flower is very prominent from afar now. It's growing much more than it did last year, and it survived the winter even in the water, which is great. I don't know what it's called in English. And the water lily is starting to show leaves, more and more of them. So hopefully we will see some flowers soon as well. We can't wait because it's really pretty.